when you take somebody's name. There's something psychological about that, about actually taking somebody's name, replacing it with somebody else. You are now Peanut. Does Peanut even remember who she used to be? Probably not. Jay Black said, in other words, we would be asking her, are you black? No, we would be grilling her. By the time we got done talking, she would be black with grill marks. So he's smart. He already knows. Keep her from the people, because the second we had the opportunity, you already know that the interview would take a turn for the worse. It's so bad. You guys, I honestly would not be surprised if he doesn't have nightmares about somebody running into her at the store and recognizing her. Yeah, she would have grill marks. I said it. She would have grill marks, because we would get to the bottom of it. We would say, are you black? What are you? Where did you come from? That's why he always hides her in the back. And then every once in a while he'll say, Peanut, da 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 da. And then after that, she kind of, I've seen before where she wants to stick around, and it's like, okay, you know what to do, ho. Get back upstairs, And I'm not saying that all nicknames are ho nicknames, but when you're a pimp, and when you're supposedly a retired pimp and you've given up the game, maybe stop nicknaming women, right? I think nicknames can be endearing, but when you're nicknamed after a food, you're usually a hoe. That's usually how it goes. That's usually how it goes. Okay? Not very imaginative either. Peanut. That's not even cute. Like, I'm just being petty now, but that's not even cute. This is the petty part. I've already talked about the hard-hitting issues, and we got to get our priorities in order. Right now, I'm just roasting Tariq, but that's not like, isn't that something they call kids? Like, come here, Peanut. I don't know. Where does it come from? It's just a weird nickname that only a pimp would think is cute. Oh, you know what? And that's probably the case because he's always capping. So it's like Anjam said, it's like what he's calling her, peanut head or peanut body. And he's probably doing that. He probably is. That name is an insult. Absolutely. And he's probably doing that because, again, he has this pimp ideology. So he's definitely emotionally tormenting that woman, or emotionally beating her down the same way that he did with all of his hoes, right? And another reason why I'm not ready to put this whole pimp thing to the side, his followers say, oh, well, this was the past. He's reformed now. Okay, but how many people did he exploit? Is he still in contact with any of these hoes? Has he paid them any sort of restitution? Because, see, now you're a reformed man, which means you know better, right? Which means that you no longer live a life, because pimps are the lowest of the low. Can we agree with that? Does anyone here aspire to be a pimp or think that they are people of good character? They're the lowest of the low, right? So when you say, I'm no longer a pimp, I no longer exploit people's hard situations, because what do they do? They go and find women that are hard on their luck. Sometimes they find women that can't find their way home. They out there lost or something. And here comes the pimp. Here comes Pimp Tariq to exploit. So if you say, I'm no longer this pimp, I no longer exploit people's bodies for a living. I abhor. I find that totally despicable. I don't do that sort of thing anymore. Then what amends have you made to your hoes? What is the full scope? How many women, how many Black women have you exploited in order to make the money, in order to make Hidden Colors 1? That's what I want to know. How many women did you exploit in order to get the money for Hidden Colors 1, 2, 3, 4? How much of your $2 million house with the Corinthian leathers? Because, see, sometimes he got a stunt on y'all. So, how much of the $2 million house of the Corinthian leathers comes from the blood money? See, this is why I say the Black supremacists, they're horrible. How much of the blood money, the exploitation money, how many Black women did you exploit to get that down payment on that house? Exactly. Nunya said he stands on a mound of exploitation co-signed by white supremacist publishers. Exactly. And he is protected by white supremacists. All of them are. All of them are protected by white supremacists. Their videos don't go down. Their videos don't get blocked. They're not being silenced. Nobody's saying, hey, you better not say that. You say that, we're going to take down your channel. Nobody's doing that to them. Frankly, at this point, if you're not shadow banned, I don't trust you. Anybody who's not shadow banned, I don't trust. If I don't see lights disappearing off of your channel, I don't trust you. You ain't talking about nothing. Show enough. Thank you so much for the donation to the channel. I appreciate that. If you're not shadow banned at this point, because listen, the algorithm got us all in jail. All my homies, we all locked up. Me and my homies, we all locked up. We shadow banned. And if you aren't shadow banned, I don't trust you. Hay said 2 acres of land. Exactly. How in the past, you guys? He's not a pimp anymore. Oh, okay. So what's he doing? What's he doing with his life then? Let's see. Are there any signs of him still in present day being a parasite? Let's see. Okay, we've got the hidden history museum, and you're not going to pay for the museum. You're going to raise the funds, and then you're going to charge Black people to look at their own history. Just like who? Who else would be so bold as to do that? Who else do we know? I'm trying to think. Is it? Oh yeah, that's right. It's white supremacists. White supremacists charge us to look at our own history. Tariq said, no, I can do better than that. You see, I'm a Black man, and so you will, I'm a foundational Black American. And so you will pay me instead of paying the white supremacists. And that's better for you because that's how Black supremacy works. That's how it works. The only thing that's changed is the color of the slaver. That's it. Leota said they changed the title on most of my videos and removed comments. Yeah. Hay said none of my passive income streams don't hold viewers. Decent said I've been locked up. They didn't let me out. I've been locked up in YouTube jail. They won't let me out. Yeah. Yeah. If I ain't seen you in the pen with me, I don't trust you. Come on, because you know what we do in the pen. First day, we want to snatch your paper. What you in for? That's the first thing we want. What you in for? You know, in Tariq's case, what do Peanut's parents look like and where are they from? That's the first thing we gonna ask him when he's in jail with us. But he ain't never in jail with us because he's a black supremacist. None of their channels get messed with. They don't go through the things that we go through. Yeah, Leona said FBA is another word for trick. Isn't it though? Isn't it? Hayes says 7 million more just to build this building. So $8 million total for nothing, putting our people in a better position. And I'm 3,000 miles from there. Exactly. But see, it's not just Tariq. Now, I've always been fair with. This is a reoccurring theme that we have in our community where we think we could just hand our money off to one person and then that one person is going to do all the work. And then we just get to sit back and just say, okay, well, our name's on it or we participated. The people got to get more involved. They have to get more involved. Nanya said they literally edited my video directly. YouTube literally re-edited my video and removed their black censorship. Exactly. And the Mink slide. Listen, he's got 100 hustles. You know, if this man went from selling CDs out of his trunk and women out of the bodega to now what he's doing, which is basically the same thing. Yeah. Decent say you got to do Chris Hansen research. Oh boy, that may turn something up. The Ming slide game. You know, a Ming slide is just another cash grab. That's what it is. And he also put out another album right around the same time that he introduced, shortly after he introduced this funding for the museum. And that went largely unnoticed. But that is just another grift that he has. We don't need music. We don't need music in the community at all. I heard somebody the other day. I heard seen several black people on Twitter and YouTube, and they were saying that there's going to be some comedy show, and everybody was saying that's just what we need is comedy. Y'all, I know it's going to hurt some of your feelings to hear this, but you don't need any comedy. You don't own anything. You don't own anything. You don't need comedy. Maybe if you wake up every day miserable, you'll finally say, okay, we've got to do something about this. But trust me, we don't need comedy and we don't need music. We don't need any more music. I don't care. Even if you're talking about something positive, we are so busy trying to do what we need to do in our community. We don't even have time to listen. Okay. We will revisit music in 10 years if we are still living. If we have been successful in saving our lives, then we'll revisit, music and the arts in general. But right now, we don't have time for the arts, and Mink slide. Which again is just another cash grab. I don't. Does Tariq strike you as the type of person to put a lot of effort into music? Has he ever given you the vibes that he is a very dedicated musician? No, no. He's just got a bunch of hustles, you know. He's that guy that when you're going into the store, they pop their trunk. Hold on. Hey, I got this for you. And you say, no, I don't want your Mink Slide album. He's like, hold on. Okay, I got these perfumes though. You know, they always have more than one product. You know, they got the spray on perfumes and the roll on perfumes, and then they have the CDs. I mean, really, we could go through all the things people sell at corner stores and we could probably predict what he'll roll out next. Prince of Paraphernalia said they took a drone flight over the U of M. I didn't know they have no fly zones. I guess they're scared for the children, which makes sense, to be honest. I mean, let's not act like you could do a lot of damage with a drone. You really could. And that's actually something that I don't know. These are the types of things I think about when I'm just sitting there thinking, how would you uh how would you stop that risk? Because a drone could come in pretty quick, drop something pretty quick. Everything below is dead. Thank you, Nunya. He doesn't even slap it together himself, right? Does Tariq slap? Does he come across as the guy that was up all night working? No, because he has a team, and they're white, and we know this. He's panned around and showed the white people before. Tariq is the slap that shit together and sell it to these niggas. If he had a restaurant, he would proudly serve you 20-day-old meat. Yes, Nunya, but you forgot something very, very important. He would proudly serve you 20-day-old meat. And then if you told him, Tariq, this meat is rotten, what are you thinking? Then he would tell you, shut up, ho. Shut up. You don't know nothing. Okay? These are Corinthian leathers. This is Corinthian meat. I just can't. I can't. Intense over. Yes, drones can do damage. They really can quickly. That's how they took out what's his name? Can't think of his name. That's how they took him out. A drone. And he was no more. What is his name? Starts with an S? Does it start with an S? You guys know he died, and it was a big deal over there because he was minding his own business, and the US was just on one that day. And they just were like, oh, we see that guy, we want to kill him, and they killed him. I can't think of his name. They had a big funeral, which is actually a big deal for that region of the world because they don't really have a lot of funerals. No, it wasn't Osama. This was recent. It wasn't. I'm thinking Saddam, but it wasn't Saddam. It was. He was a general. It's gonna bug me, but yeah. That's how they took him out. I think Gaddafi. I think it was Gaddafi. Was it? Anyways, they killed him with a drone. The point is, they killed him with a drone. Yeah, the general. Yes, you know who I'm talking about. It was a real big deal. The general. And they didn't even have authorization really. They just killed that man out of nowhere. He didn't even see it coming. One minute you're driving along, next minute your body's parts are scattered everywhere. It's a bad way to go, but it is a quick way to go, actually. So I don't know if I would call that a bad way to go. Yes, the high-ranking military official. They did that huge funeral for him, And it was a lot of drama when, yes, yes, that's what I'm talking about with the yes, yes, that one right there. Qasim Salamini. Yeah, I think that's the one. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the one. Yeah, and they that's how they killed him. They dropped a drone on him. You know, I don't like drones because I know it's fairly easy to kill people with drones. I mean, it really is. It's fairly easy, and you can do it from the comfort of your home or the comfort of the military base. Yeah, exactly. Jay Black said that was when Trump was in office, and because of that, they put a price on Trump's head. Yeah, yeah, that drone it packed a buku punch and it took him out. It was very accurate. It was they got right up in there. They got him. He didn't even see that coming. I mean, it literally is like 1 minute you're here, the next minute you're not. And they had to pick up all the pieces and try to get it in a casket. It was a mess, y'all. I don't know why this is making me laugh. I don't know if this is an awkward laugh. I don't know, but it was. I don't. Let's move on. Getting back to this whole Tariq thing. It's just 1 minute you just driving along. You know, I was like, that's dirty, you know. And that's my biggest thing with white supremacists. They're cowards, and I don't like the way they do things. You know, I just don't. I liked back in the day, and when, you know, there were rules to warfare, and there wasn't all this subterfuge. I mean, there were spies, but there wasn't all this subterfuge. I mean, you had to name what you were going to do, you know. And at the end of the day, it really was just two groups that were going to combat one another. And it's just nowadays, it's a different game entirely. It's uh, you know, it's the coward's game, if you will. Um, Hayes said, "I know I'm going to hell, but I watch these Yemen and blackout war footage all the time." Evo too, yeah. But getting back to this whole Tariq thing, I do not think I think it's obvious to anybody with two eyes that this man is not a reformed pimp. He's still in his pimping days. It's just his hoes have changed. And he calls his hoes the FBA. That's what he calls them, foundational Black Americans. Um, I will say it's very sad to see so many young people that are like, yeah, man, we're getting a museum. You know, their excuse though is that they're young. They don't know any better. But what about these grown adults that are out here you know, capping for it and trying to protect and you know, defending Tariq? These grown adults, they should know better. Now the kids, I feel bad for them. 18, 19, they're excited about a museum. That's to be expected. That's kids for you. They don't do their research all the time. They're well intentioned, and sometimes they invest money in bad projects. But what are the adults' excuse? Jay Black said that Iranian general is no ally to us. Neither was he a saint. No, and not at all. And we brought it up because we were talking about drones. Because Hayes was saying he doesn't know why a drone would have those sorts of you know, would be limited like that, and especially flying over a school. That's a serious thing. Those are people's kids. If I see a drone fly over the school, I'm asking questions. I want to know whose drone that is. You know, depending on what my situation is that day, I might even try to shoot it down. I mean, it's a serious thing because you can do a lot of damage with a drone. And Jam said, Vicky Dillard is the biggest defender. I imagine she's getting a cut out of the money too. Oh, Vicky has said straight up she has said straight up that she is um, not going to ruin her check. So, in other words, like I said, cowardice is behind a lot of this. And to me, she's a coward. Um, and she is basically the paid woman's voice, right? And it's so funny because she defends men who don't respect her at all. Otherwise, they wouldn't put her in the position of having to defend them, let alone depending on her to defend them at all. Okay, so these men obviously do not respect her, and yet she will say anything. But what could be expected from a Christian? Nunya said, "I don't trust that skinny heifer as far as I can throw her." I know. I want to come over to her house for 5 minutes because I just have a feeling that if I came over, a lot of stuff would be revealed before we wouldn't even have to speak to each other. I just have a feeling that if I crossed the threshold, if I opened that door and I looked inside, I'd be like, oh, that's why. Is she a human or is she an android? I don't know. Something's going on. There's a lot going on. Something's going on there. I just don't trust it. But one thing that I know is that she's a woman, and instead of speaking truth to power and holding the people, oh yeah, I can only imagine. Oh yeah, Nunya said I pass out from weird incense smells. Yeah, I can only imagine. Yeah. Um, instead of speaking truth to power, once again, cowardice, right? Everything that's happened, she wouldn't even go against Kwame. And it's like, why? How are you connected to him that you won't even say it's wrong that he's doing this? It's wrong that he said this. Because I'm sorry. What he said about Breonna Taylor is absolutely unforgivable. It's unforgivable. I mean, absolutely unforgivable. There's no way you could get past that with me. It could be 100 years. There's just no way. It's unforgivable. And the fact that so many men stepped forward and said, this is absolutely wrong. We do not accept this. This is absolutely wrong. And the women on YouTube did not have the same amount of courage. It's disappointing. It's embarrassing. And it's a shame. Leota said, is Vicky a swirler? No, I don't know. I don't know what her situation is. Decent said, does Vicky have some sort of disease? Yes, but I wouldn't believe whatever she says. I wouldn't. I just, yeah. Lance said, Vicky is another alumni of Boyce Watkins School of Thought. And yet she really has, this is how short-sighted Black people are. Can I let you in on not all of our people, but some of our people are so short-sighted, and it bugs me. So Vicky has this whole platform, right? But it's not her platform. It's Boyce's platform. So anytime she wants, she can go, see ya, I'm out. And she could create her own platform on YouTube, do her own thing, and she would probably be monetized overnight. Okay, because she has a lot of little goofy people that like her goofy self and follow her, right? But she says, I don't want to go against the grain. Oh, it's scary out there. And it's like, but Vicky, you're the main draw to this channel. If you leave, you'll be just fine. Oh, I don't know. It's scary. This is the same thing that I deal with when I deal with people in the community. And I say, come on, guys, let's build our own. We can do so much better. We can build it up. We can have this. We can have that. They're like, I don't know. It's scary out there, but it's this, it's that. And it's like, but you are the main draw. You are the main. Yeah, she defended Kwame, and that's when I was like, okay, you're done. You're done. You're done with me. And then her reason was literally Boyce writes my checks. And all of her followers were like, yeah, girl, you right for that. So you're defending a man like Kwame Brown because you were asked to by Boyce, and Boyce writes your checks. See, and I heard that Boyce has this real funny way of getting things on you. I did, Michi said that he bought all of their website names. Michi said that. And people do that type of stuff. I caught somebody trying to do that with me, trying to take my name for my website. It's weird. Yeah. One thing about Michi, she'll air it out. Vicky's fake. She's not going to air anything out. She is the role that they want all Black women to play in society, which is go along with whatever the men are doing. Don't hold anybody accountable. Be our female voice that cleans everything up for us and helps to put the fire out when we do things that we're not supposed to do. But what Kwame said about Breonna Taylor, absolutely unforgivable. Unforgivable. And it shows into his character. And who he runs with shows in his character. What do him and what's the other one, Tommy? What do they have in common? They both speak that bootstrap stuff. They're both just as self-hating as can be. Kwame kind of has an excuse, though. And I'm not saying that I agree with the excuse. Now, hear me out. I'm not saying that I agree with the excuse. But we can track back and see where the white man gave him an opportunity and he ran with it. And, now he's grateful to the white man. And that's basically the making of a coon. We can kind of track that back. I don't see any of that for Tommy. I don't know where that came from. He's just a very self-hating individual. Yeah, Nunya said, I thought of adding Michi in my parody, but why? LOL. Michi is the equivalent of an inside joke in Black disempowerment. Yeah, this is actually my first time, I think, ever even mentioning Michi because I don't talk about her on my channel ever. Like, she doesn't come up. And Jam said, I only like the lionesses from Fly Nubian. I don't support any of it because I don't support boys, right? And how empowered are you women that you're sitting on a man's platform? Why can't you as sisters go and get your own platform? And, especially since Boyce has already finessed you, because they're all pimps, you know. So since Boyce has already finessed you, you don't owe him anything at this point. So why not come together and say, hey, ladies, let's do our own platform. And you know what, Boyce? Since you say that you support women, why don't you support our platform? But that'll never happen because the day they go and make their own platform, Boyce is coming out against them. Jay Black said, I can't deal with no tone deaf. Yeah. Yeah. They are exactly, Nunya said they are following Charles Wu's business model. Exactly. Which is the capitalism, white supremacy business model. People are not humans. You find out what their emotions are, you manipulate their emotions in order to get what you want, and they're left with nothing. And once their emotions have died down, they're wondering why they no longer have rent money. Well, because you allowed a pimp to get you all worked up. Now you've donated your rent money to a museum. That's why I said they need to speak with Tariq and they need to see if he will repurpose the museum as a shelter for them because they're going to need it. Mark my words, they're going to need a shelter. We all need, a shelter just in case, right? That we can all get to and everything like that, a safe place. But they need a shelter to sleep at, like tonight. I don't mean to laugh. I don't normally laugh at homelessness, but this situation right here, when you try to warn the people before they actually become homeless, and they say, "Don't worry about it. It's my money to waste. Why you pocket watching?" That's what the troll was saying. Why you pocket watching? That's what all Tariq's trolls have been saying. You pocket watching. And then Tariq was telling them, "You're not broke. They're just mad because you're not broke." It's like, Tariq, are you trying to convince broke people they're not broke? What the world? We know they're broke. We know. Okay? We know. I'm just big on own everything that you do. I'm just big on that, you know? And if my name was Boyce and I wanted to I would never, first of all, as a man, I would never want to have a women's platform because there's no way that I, as a man, could have a women's platform and have these women working for me and I give them a little cut, but they never really see how much the channel makes and all of this and all of that. It screams exploitation. They're all pimps. They're all on the Charles Wu business model, like Nunya said. I like that. I mean, it's the truth. They're on the Charles Wu business plan. Step one, sell hope. Exactly. Yeah. Like I could see Boyce being like, "You owe me X amount of dollars. Now, once you pay this off, you can go free." Mm-hmm. Yeah, Nunya said exactly. He arms his cult members with buzzwords and talking points and releases them to go out and fight his battle. Yeah, I could never see myself as a woman being like, "You know what? I'm going to start a men's platform." Why would I do that? Why? That's not me being an ally. That's me exploiting you. Me being an ally would be like, "Hey, brothers, y'all should get together and make your own platform," you know? I know. He went in. I know exactly who you're talking about, Leotis. Leotis said, "I got mad respect for a brother who went in on Tariq live." Yeah, he went in. Didn't he covered like every talking point I would want to cover. But I probably wouldn't because my natural talking pattern is just not that quick. He got all of it in. I was like, "Go, go, go, go." Mm. Jay Black said Paris Milan is a protege of Boyce. I don't really take anybody serious who's named after Europe, like European countries. Like, miss me with that. If my parents named me Paris Milan, I'd slap them both as soon as I turned 18. Like, what were you thinking? That Chicago brother told him to come to Chicago. He better not. They will find him. You know, and some of these people, they be talking hard over the internet. Don't do that. Don't put yourself at risk. Don't be talking hard on the internet. Yeah, he went in. And said Paris Milan was caught scamming her subscribers. I mean, I heard a video she did. A lot of this. Let me bring this up since I'm just running my mouth casually today. Let me bring this up. Like, when I listen to people, like the few times that I have listened to people like Cynthia G, and I heard a Paris Milan video as well. My main thing is this: are some of your complaints valid? Absolutely. But what is the solution? What are you going to divest to? Because the Mexican man loves his woman and he's not looking for no other woman. So you cannot divest in mass to the Mexican man. You cannot divest in mass to the Asian man. You cannot divest in mass to the white man. There's not enough for you. Because these people love their race, they love their women, and they're going to marry. So what is the solution? It's kind of like black men ain't nothing. And then it's like, okay, but what comes after that? And I think that's the part a lot of people miss. There needs to be some sort of reconciliation. We've got to come together. We've got to figure it out. But to just say these are the problems with the black man and then not follow it up with any solutions, I have a problem with that. And that's what I hear from the divestment circle. I hear, you know, or squad or whatever you want to call them. I hear them say that the black man isn't this and the black man's not doing that. And a lot of that is valid. But they do things that are also not helpful. In other words, a part of this is, you know, what you're willing to accept. A part of it is what you're willing to accept, because a lot of people, a lot of women specifically, will talk mess about what they don't want in a man, and then they'll be dating a man that has all of the features that they say they don't want. Just as an example, you know, they'll complain about certain behaviors, but then they'll go right home and be with a man just like that. So it's kind of like we're creating our own problems here. And I don't want to go too far into it in this video, but I'll just say that there's not a lot of solution. And that's why I don't like it. That's the main reason why I'm against all this divesting nonsense. Also, where are you going to divest to? Same thing for the black man. The majority of white women do not want you. The majority of Mexican women want Mexican men. You know, we could do this with all races. So can some black men find women? Can a lot of black men can find women and are finding women outside of their race if that's what they want to do and think that it's going to serve them? It's not, but I'm just saying, if they think it's going to serve them, some of you can, you know, find women outside of your race. But if you were to move over to another race in mass, you would learn that your demand is not what you think it is. And that's the same thing for the black woman. Her demand is not what she thinks it is with all these different races. So when you say divest to these other races, they are not checking for you. You know, I watch international shows, and I haven't watched one international show where they said or made a joke or even referenced a black woman. They aren't worried about you. Uh-oh, I just messed it up a little bit. Let me go back to this comment. Jay Black said, I used to watch her channel years ago. She said her father named her Paris. I almost left the hospital without a name because my parents put so much time, thought, and effort into my government name. And if they would have came out again, That just, to me, if your name is Paris, like, no, I'm sorry, no, no, I can't do it. No. And you're black. I get it. I get it. I get it. But no, and this is like a lot of black people that like Italy, and they're like, oh, it's Italy. And Italy is so racist. It's like, why are we doing this? Why are we visiting these places and naming our children after these places that don't even love us and respect us? I'm not going to say Paris has been the worst place in the world to black people, but I mean, it's not Africa. It doesn't have that type of tie to us. So it's just weird. I can't get over the name. I just can't. Okay. I just can't. Exactly. Viewing YouTube said exactly, en masse is the key phrase. A few will be able to get non-black men, but not the majority. Exactly. And then you're stuck in the same situation you're in now, which is a lot of women will not have husbands. O'Shane Jackson is unhealthy for the black community. Yes. Decent said, and the pink pill blamed black people for her suicide attempt in the car. I had no idea that happened. So she says, uh, she tried to kill herself in the car, in the garage. I don't know about that. I don't. That's a bit. Somebody said, hold on. I'm just okay. Jay Black said Sinji has made points about black men in the past that I can agree with, but now it's just pure ridiculousness. She says valid things. She just doesn't have any solutions. And because of the things that you're saying, because of some of the other things that you're saying, it takes away the respect. Um, it's like, well, why would anyone even listen to you, right? I don't know. It's just, this is not my thing. My main argument is that she has no solutions. I just recently listened to one of her videos. It was a very popular video because, like I said, Cynthia G has blown up as of recently. The woman sphere has blown up. Most black women, they've got some issues with black men, and it's showing by the level of support that she's getting. And it was my first time watching a Cynthia G video from beginning to end. And it was only like, I say only, but it was like an hour long. And I watched that entire video. And then it was just like, black men this, black men that, and then that's just the end of the video. That's just the end. There's no solutions there other than, divest, which is not going to work for everybody. Captain PY2, welcome. Nanya said, I can never make another child with anyone other than a DOAS woman. I fucked up and got a Virgin Islander the first time. Never again. Waste of time. Blue Figure said, I hate that I found you and Nanya so late. I feel like I wasted time of knowledge and seeing folks be played. I guess this is the real spot for real black people. Yeah. We hold it down. We keep it real. Hayes said Italy hates blacks because of General Hannibal. Yeah. And this is the thing. We have a lot of people who are basically leading the conversation between black men and black women, but they or descendants of American slavery, men and women. But the main thing is the people that are leading the conversations are people that shouldn't even be allowed to speak on the conversation. Right? Like you don't have the bitter, angry person with nothing but failed relationships behind them. Like, that's not who you have lead the conversation on relationships. That's the person that you sit in the back and say, just listen, don't speak. That's what's happening. And that's happening on both the men's side and the women's side. Like, when you look at the people that are leading the conversation, they don't even have healthy relationships. Cynthia G ain't got a man. Kevin Samuels doesn't have a woman. Okay. Tommy, I don't even know how to none of these people actually have healthy relationships, or even have relationships for that matter. Most of them don't even have that. And they're leading the conversation. So that's part of the problem. You know, it's crazy. When I was growing up, you couldn't even speak on certain issues unless you were, you know, mainly the only people speaking on Black issues, on descendants of American slavery issue, the only people that spoke on that were scholars, you know, people that really, or, you know, people that were fighting on the front lines or something like that, you know, people that really had the knowledge to do so. Whereas now, because of social media, anybody can just pick up a phone or, you know, a laptop and start talking to whoever about whatever, and people listen to them and they take what they say to heart. And that's a problem. We need people that are trained in relationships. I mean, actual literal training, you know, whether it be psychologists that understand that what we have been through due to chattel slavery, that understand our transgenerational trauma, that are actually trained in finding solutions. We need people like that to come into the community, and they are unbiased, and they're coming to bring us together. That's the type of thing we need, not people that are coming with a chip on their shoulder. They're angry, they're mad, and, you know, also they're very biased because they're looking to get paid. That's what they're looking to do. They're looking to get paid from the community. And let's face it, if you talk trash about Black men or Black women, you can get a lot of money from it, because that's exactly where they want you. Jay Black said, I used to actually have a certain level of respect for Sinji. I haven't been here from the beginning of her. So when I came, she was already somebody I did not respect. Period. Lance said, if you are dysfunctional in the Black community, it's very likely that you're going to be dysfunctional in other people's communities. That's another thing. You know, this whole, I'm going to go over there and the white man, he's going to treat me right, or this man, he's going to treat me right, or, you know, and the same could be said for Black men, because you guys know me, I'm equitable. This is true on both ends. But the truth is, a lot of the issues that people are having within their own group, they're going to have it anywhere. Actually, it's probably going to be more of an issue over there, because over there you're not family. You know how they say in Olive Garden, here you're family. Well, over there you aren't family. You're not from Italy where they make the Olive Garden. You know, you're not from there. So over there you're not family. So it's actually going to be worse. Welcome back, JT. Leota said, if you divested, there's no point in talking about Black people because you left. Exactly. Yeah, even if it's subconsciously, they won't value them the same. Exactly, view on YouTube. Nanya said, exactly, a pimp book writer talking about Black empowerment. Isn't that crazy? Isn't that crazy? But see, this is all a reflection of where we're at as a people. Until we truly believe that we deserve more, we're going to keep putting people, and I say we, even though I obviously have nothing to do with Tariq being where he is today, but I do say we because it is my people. I take some responsibility for my people. Until we value ourselves enough, we're going to keep on, um, you know, and we need to rise together. We need to rise. We need to come up some levels so that we don't even relate to pimps, right? Because some of you, for everybody to be, for people to be giving this much money to Tariq, you have to relate to him on some level. And you shouldn't relate to a pimp at all. They are the lowest of the low in society. They really are. And it has nothing to do with his skin color or any of that. It has to do with what they do for a living. It's exploitation. It requires somebody who is able to see human beings as cattle. That's what is required to be a pimp. Your only value in the mind of a pimp is your ability to produce. Okay? This is if you were a farmer and you had a cow. Some farmers, they like their cows. They talk to their cows. They spend time with their cows. Sometimes they just look out the window at their cows. Then you have these other farmers, they don't give a crap about the cow. They mistreat the cow, they kick the cow, they this and that. The point is, this is how they view themselves. They're farmers, and and they're the abusive farmer, right? They're the farmer that sees no value in the cow other than what the cow can produce. Not saying that we are cows. I'm saying this is how they view us. Nunya said, but does Kevin have a man sleeping at his house? The jury's still out, but I mean, the black community is at 98%. Yes, that was a man in your bed. She ain't nothing but a baby mama. Yeah, yeah. We need to stop relating to these bottom of the bottom people. And the only way that we're going to stop relating to these bottom of the bottom people is if we come up as a people. Our mindset needs to come up. Our um our expectations of ourselves, of each other, it's got to come up. Man, we've got to come up off the ground. If we relate to pimps, what does that say about us? Nanya said, can we ask what man makes a parody song about a woman's bangs? What flavor of Splenda is that exactly? Jay Black said, if these people started offering solutions, they'll be talking themselves out of money. That's very true. Yeah, that's very true. That's like the counselor that's like, oh crap, if I heal you, then it'll probably take me 30 sessions and you'll be healed. But I got this and that I got to pay off. So we'll make this last a little bit longer. Have you, Decent said, have you heard about the clubhouse saying to not give birth to any more black babies, dating other races of people? Oh, are they saying just date other races of people? I did hear about that. I did. I did. I actually did hear about that, and it's so disturbing. Um, Basically, what they're saying, and this is why I tried to warn the Brotherhood. What they're saying is that black men are not going to protect black children, because there have been black children that have been taken, and when black children are taken, yeah, that sticks with black women. That scares the crap out of them. And so the divestment crowd used this as an opportunity to say, look how black men do not protect black children. So do not. So basically, what they're saying is the only way to not have your children taken from you is to not have fully black children. So therefore, the only way to keep your kids is to have mixed children. Yeah, this is a group of divestment women, Nunya. This is a group of divestment women, and they're saying the black man is not going to protect our children. So the only way to keep, and that was another thing they said. They said specifically keep. The only way for us to keep our children, and I don't comment on all this stuff because what would I even say? It's so crazy. If anything, it's just crazy. There's never a point at which all black people will go mix with all of another race and it'll make us stronger. It'll make us weaker. Period. You know, um, that's why other races stick to themselves because they know that. It's just a basic understanding. Jim Black said, just leave already. I know, they be talking about it. Blue said, should I love a black man? Goodness. As hard as it was for me to find you, it was easy to find Tariq last year. I didn't even know who he was. Then boom, YouTube suggested his Umar diss video, and I fell into the drama not knowing he was a flip flopper. Yeah. At one point in time, I looked at Tariq more favorably as well. I looked at him as someone who was harmless because he was just over there cracking jokes. And that is a common mistake for especially young people. We kind of get caught into the entertainment and we think people are harmless because they're cracking jokes, but then they start sneaking other stuff in, and then next thing you know, they're FBA. Nunya said we should do a clubhouse room. That way we can see the lurkers. Yeah. Yeah. We need to come up with a way to control the narrative on social media. That's what we need to do. And force balance, not ask for balance, not complain about the fact that there's no balance on this platform. I mean, force balance, where if they talk about something and they're doing something in their negative terms, there is an alternative that's there that you know, and that it's recommending you. You know, we need to force balance on this platform because this platform is continually keeping balance away. Oh, Decent said there's a story where a black man saved two of his daughters from a fire without firefighting gear. I'm glad that they're safe. Did a good job there. KB said, if I feed you fish, I got a customer for life. If I teach you to fish, I got a customer for a day. That is why these YouTube revolutionaries never offer solution, only long-winded critiques and opinions. Exactly. And everything they can to keep the conversation going. Cut the conversation and get to work is my overall thing. Too much talking, not enough doing, you know? But they always want to just talk. Mm. Yeah, spin in circles, exactly. Comedy, entertainment, it we don't need it. We just don't need it. We have so much real stuff going on, and when we have real stuff going on, that's when a lot of our people seek out entertainment, which that's the last time you need entertainment. You know, when stuff's going on, you need to be far away from entertainment. Yeah. Nanya said exactly, which is why I'm simulcasting. Let's join up when we are of like mind. Exactly. Hmm. Um, yeah. Oh, that's a good idea. Nanya said, I encourage everyone to activate their live streaming services on YouTube and retransmit lives they support. That is actually a good idea. Wow. Exactly. I haven't heard one of those divestors talk about the vaccine. That is a good point. I haven't heard one of them. And that is a very real issue. You know, um, they'll talk about, children being taken from the home, but they don't talk about the role that the woman has in the situation. So again, it's just a lot of one-sided, and they get people to go along with one-sided arguments. It feels really great to blame all of your problems on somebody other than you, right? And so you get these women together, and they do. Kevin Samuels does the same thing. They all do the same thing. The Manosphere, they all do the same thing. But the women do it too. They get the women together and they say, you're not the problem. The man is the problem. He's bad. He's this. He's that. You have no accountability. You're golden. Who wouldn't that appeal to? Right? You mean I'm not the problem? There's nothing that I need to fix. There's nothing that I could do better. I mean, let's face it. The black woman has caused a lot of her own problems because she's been there for the black man at times when she probably should have fell back. She supported the black man at times when, and I don't mean divest, I mean just fall back. Like, stop doing that. Like, if you pay a man's bills, then you're mad because he can't stand on his own 2 feet, but you've been paying his bills for 10 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, after a while, it's a learned behavior that I can go to women to be taken care of. Because as much as we as black women complained about the financial aspect of things, we never did it. We never did anything to change the situation. We complained about it, but a lot of women still financially supported and did other things that again were outside of the scope of womanhood that we shouldn't have been doing anyway. And I was raised up that there's always two sides to every story. You don't just you can't just blame one person and say that's, but that's totally different from what happens on YouTube. On YouTube you have the group of men saying women are the devil, and you have the women saying men are the devil, and it's it's all very convenient for people that don't want to really get to real solutions. Okay, I've never heard of Crystal Swirl. I'm beyond. I don't know all the swirlers. I don't know them all, but I've never heard of her. Oh yeah, no, no, no. Decent. There's two sides. Your side, my side, and the truth. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But the point is that there's more sides to the story, and you know, if you can lock people, if people can get locked into this one sided thing, then they feel really good. But it's just it doesn't serve us. See, I've never heard of her either. Never heard of her. I don't go too far into it, you know. I don't. I just listen a little bit so I know what people are talking about, and so I can be aware of what's going on this platform that I'm on, right? Um, but I don't know everybody by a long shot. It's a lot. It's a lot out there. It's a lot of people that are off topic and off task. Yeah. Together said we will not recover from 2 generations destroyed black family of destroyed black family and mass incarceration. It doesn't result in black men with suit and tie. Black men is not the white knight, but black men for the sake of power must step up. Yeah. I don't know if I want that. Black men in suit and tie anyway. Or again, I don't want a I don't want us to move in a black supremacy direction. Black supremacy directions are not going to serve us. It's the same exact thing, only worse, because you can't say racism when your boss is black, or when the company is the CEO is black, right? You can't say racism. So it's in a sense, it's actually even worse, because when you say something ain't right, no one's gonna listen, because hey, this person is you. This is your guy. This is your woman. What do you mean? So that's why when a lot of people start talking about um, building up businesses and stuff like that, I have to be we have to be mindful. Like Blue just said, we need to get back to Black Wall Street. I think that we need to get businesses, but I don't know if we need to go back to Black Wall Street until we fight this fight that we have to fight. Right? Because if we go back to Black Wall Street today, what we're doing is ignoring the global system of white supremacy. And it is a system. And they are coming, and they're going to put the Black Wall Street underwater. So do I think that we should have our own businesses? Yes. But do I think that we should have a formal Black Wall Street where people can come and take pictures on Instagram and do things all loud the way that we as Black people up? No, I don't think we should do that. Not unless we're prepared for it to go back underwater, because that's what'll happen. Or they'll just come in and shoot everybody, or these are things that happen and have happened over and over and over again. And these were all signs that we need to deal with our enemy, and then we can build Black Wall Street in peace when we know that they're not coming. Yes, digital will work very well for us. But again, we have a problem because it seems like we don't work well with each other. We have a terminal independence, and that stops us from improving the things that we have, making our website so that it rivals Amazon. It's just that good, where Black people come to the website and they're like, I can't believe this is mine. Look how easy it is to navigate. Look how easy it is to put things in the cart. Look how many good products there are, not made in China junk. you know all of these different things. We need to do it right. It's not just about getting things done, it's about doing it right. And I see very few people out here doing it right. Rodney is definitely worth a follow. Let me see if I can get his channel. Give me just a moment here. Because Rodney, I just watched a video of his earlier. Okay. No, I watched a video of his earlier. No, 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 no. No, my stomach just told me I'm hungry. Okay, somebody help me out with Rodney's channel because I'm just looking through my history. I know I watched a video of his earlier, but he does have some good content. Jay Black said, I had some bad interactions with Black women, but I never could wrap my head around the idea of making videos bashing all of Black women. That stuff is strange to me. Absolutely. I've also found that when you have bad interactions, you can only blame the other person so much. You know, um, a lot of what we get in life is a direct result of our abilities to negotiate what we want out of life. And a lot of people aren't good at negotiating what they want out of life and out of relationships. And then when they don't get what they want, then they feel very bitter and they want to blame an entire gender. Blue said, I just wish those Black men would be real and say the things they've done to a Black woman to make her react. We're not just horrible for no reason. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I agree with that. Lance said, well, it's been nice, folks. Okay, you have a good evening. Thank you for stopping by. You have a good one. Always glad to see you in the building. Decent say, yeah, meaning life is what you make it. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, we don't need that validation anyway, Blue. We just need to value ourselves more, and we need to bring the sisterhood together. And the reason why I say that is because, again, a lot of the reason why women end up in these relationships where the guy's doing this and doing all that is because you are cut off from the flock. So you are easy prey. That's why the guy can come to you and live at your house and not pay any bills or whatever it is that he's doing. He can do that because you're cut off from the flock. So you're easy pickings. So again, that's the value of sisterhood, but a lot of women, terminally independent. We're the only women who don't have other women to rely on. That's why I loved that was the one thing that I really did enjoy about dating an African is that I had a whole sisterhood. A whole sisterhood. Like, here's a job. Here's your best friend. Here's a car. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't have a car, but when I'm walking to the store, they're like, where are you going? You're our sister. Get in the car. We will drive you. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the sisterhood. We don't have that. So what you have is a lot of young women that are trying to navigate relationships with zero information about the opposite sex and 0.1% information about who they are. What are their odds of going out into the world and having positive relationships? It really is the luck of the draw. It really, if you have been raised up maybe in a two-parent household, but more Peace, family. It is Isis X. Welcome back to my channel. Leotis, good to see you in the building.
All right. Can everybody hear me now? This should be better, hopefully. Excuse me. I'm going to hope and assume that it is because there's like a huge distortion, or not distortion, but a huge delay that I have programmed into this. But let me take it back to my other, what you call it. So today was, or last night through today was a very interesting little time, right? And having it capped off with this has been very awesome too, right? Because this was very much so needed, that little back and forth, right? What it means is like there needs to be more support of individuals who are putting out positive statements. And so I really encourage everybody to keep on doing that as much as humanly possible. But I really do like the clubhouse idea because I really think there is a large amount of lurkers going on right now. Um, in our chats, I really honestly believe these people are lurking directly in what the hell we're doing. Because let's just be real, like a large amount of the narratives that are out there in the mainstream, just another tool has came up with, right? So if they want to talk about do for selferism, there are already people out there talking about do for selferism. That space is sort of crowded. If you want to talk about basically sucking the dick of Democrats and going down that narrative, there's already Roland Martins and the BNC channel and all these other channels that sort of already hog that narrative, right? When you want to talk about sort of black conservatism and stuff like that, or any sort of niche that you could possibly think about in the grift these niggas out of time space, right? There's already somebody talking about it, so you risk stepping on the toes of somebody else, right? And the way they're buck dancing, it's almost like a strip club, right? And you risk possibly stealing or trying to steal a client from a buck dancer in the Black Tool strip club, right? But so they have to come to people with fresh ideas and fresh narratives. So in order for them to both get new ideas and to come up with predictive counter narratives, like, oh, okay, these niggas are gonna be criticizing me about this in a couple of months, so let me go ahead and try to get ahead of this right now, right? And we already saw that a little bit with the $150,000 donations, how those niggas, or how that nigga Tariq sort of switched gears after I exposed his ass about bringing that shit up. And I was like, I guess I can't use that, right? So they be watching us, but I think we really do need to have like a clubhouse where we could all like have a collaborative, conversation, right? There's still room, obviously, for us to have one sort of single channeled conversations. But I think there's a lot to be gained by bringing up other people's opinions because, we don't all agree and we don't all have to agree, right? But I think everybody in this small space does really respect one another. And I think that everybody within the small space, even if they have or express differing opinions, I think everybody in this sort of small space can sort of have the patience and the respect to say, okay, well, if this person is saying this, at least I'm going to hear them out fully, right? At least if I'm going to get another perspective on this topic, this is probably the best person to give me this information because I could tell that they're genuine about what the hell they're talking about. So I think that there's room for that because, like I said, when I went on what is that fucking thing called? I don't forget the name. Clubhouse. That shit just looked like a planning session for church excursions, like church retreat planning sessions. Like, it was so weird how they have that shit organized. You have like 400 people watching and only 3 or 4 people talking. It's the weirdest shit in the fucking world. Like, y'all just staring around. Just, I don't know. I just don't feel like that's very collaborative. I mean, obviously, I think you should. If you have that many people, you need to break off into groups, right? You should have subgroups or something like that with that type of stuff. If you can't all participate, then what's the point? You're just listening. You might as well just go on YouTube and have StreamYard and do it that way. But if everybody can talk, then they should be talking. But I just want to say thank you, Isis. That was very cool. You know what I'm saying? You already know the type of shit I've been dealing with. So I was going to go back on here and rail against YouTube again. But I think I'm going to take a small little pause for the cause today. And get back at it tomorrow. But at the end of the day, this was very informative. These last 24 hours are very informative. I think a large amount of other people would have been pussy, right? given the exact same situation, if they were, oh my God, YouTube gave me a strike, they're going to cancel my channel. Fuck that. You want to do it? Let's do it. Let's do it today. Right? And that's the other thing. Like, YouTube doesn't, we need to remember that YouTube is not just YouTube. YouTube is also Google. So when they threaten to cancel your channel, they could also cancel your email account associated with that channel too, if they really wanted to. Just keep that in mind, right? Those two entities are combined, right? So at the end of the day, when you go down these roads, you got to be like, you know what? Fuck you. Which is the reason why I'm getting Proton. Oh, I've already gotten Proton Mail for my stuff. I need to just feel it out a little bit, make sure that I'm cool on that. You know what I'm saying? Make sure I'm cool on that, because they don't fuck around when it comes down to encryption. If you lose your password, your emails are gone. They don't give a fuck. So I'm gonna see whether or not that's something I want to go, or if I want to have a backup mail as well to that, or how I want to do that, or even if I want. Well, I don't know if I want to go back to Yahoo. But figure that out. Figure that out. But I'm probably gonna eventually cancel my my Gmail accounts for the purposes of receiving mail. Right? It may be in existence, but it's not going to be my primary use of mail. So if anybody uses that, they're just going to be throwing it into the breeze. But yeah, so that was cool. That was really cool. Tonight, like I said, man, for those who, I think ISIS, you know, I think Leonis or Leotis, I'm sorry, Leotis Brown, I think you were here as well. I don't know if you saw the shit that was going on last night, but basically YouTube gave me a warning on another video, so they tried to escalate it to a strike to stop me from showing this, so I might as well show it again. I know y'all probably tired, but to stop me showing this Malcolm X video, right? Now this is completely protected speech, just to put it in perspective. This video, I'll keep the audio down. I've already posted this, and I'm gonna basically post this and keep on posting this every day, on a stream, and let them do whatever the fuck they want to do with it. Who gives a fuck if they try to cancel the or copyright strike? Who gives a fuck? It's not copyright. It's fair use 100%. So they already know that, and that's the reason why they keep on taking away the strikes. So, oh, you got a strike too? For what? Like I said, YouTube owns Content ID. So let me hip everybody. So when I was about to go to Disco Kid, right, in order to publish that African Rain beat that you heard, right, I was gonna publish that for you so I could have a way of selling it. But I was like, do I want to do that? Nah. It went back from an artist standpoint, and I was like, is it tied to the video? Is it separatable? Right? I may just send it to you off the strength, right? ISIS, I may just send you a copy of that off the strength. Don't think I've forgotten about that request. I haven't. But I went to DistroKid, and when I went to DistroKid, I was like, man, I really don't want to be a part of this system, right? Because I would have to start doing other things, like I would have to copyright my name and trademark this and do all of my beats directly through DistroKid in order to have it all but then when I went to DistroKid, one of the options was to use YouTube Content ID, right? So when these flags come up for copyright strikes, when they come up on the videos, YouTube is selling a service called Content ID, which allows them to automatically scan all uploaded content to their platform to see whether or not it's under a copyright. So when they do this weirdo content strike on one of my videos, right? The reason why it's coming on is because an employee at YouTube can basically search their database, almost like Shazam. They can search their database to see where, if any person who's using their content, these P's, if any person is using their Content ID or is a subscriber to their Content ID, where is this content possibly being, repeated, right? So they found some obscure video or some obscure song that was using the audio from Richard Pryor and use that as a means to copyright strike the video, or at least, you know, to say it was and by doing that, it was partially blocked in only one country, and that country was the U.S. Right? So YouTube has ways of intermittently trying to block videos. They are not a platform. They are a publisher and an editor, right? Like I said, on one of my videos, they actually edited out. Can we? Sort of don't want to, but hold on. Let me just show this real quick, just so I can get it out my mind. Hold on. But they basically edited the end of the video entirely. Let me see. Wait, I should be just able to go back to the one I was just using. Yeah, how come I can't go back to this one? OBS is weird. But basically what they did was they took out an end scene that was going on. They had like an overlay of like this stream is terminated or suspended because of blah 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 blah. Then they actually edited out the video entirely. They actually took out that section of their edit entirely and then re-edited the video as if it continued on by itself, right? It's just ridiculous. It's just fucking ridiculous. So I already have all that shit on screen recorder. I've already shown it, right? I have that video mocked up. I'm gonna go ahead and send it to my governor and my state representatives for my state to show the lack. I mean the editorial capabilities of YouTube, right? So that they can actually see that it's actually not just a platform. It's a publisher and an editor, right? And the beautiful thing is I already called all of my state representatives, you know, because my state is one of those states that did that anti-riot bill. And I called each and every last one of them. And I was like, hey, even for the Republicans ones, it's like, hey, you guys are a little bit too. I mean, this isn't a black and white or conservative liberal issue. This is really just, are you right or are you wrong, right? You shouldn't have or want your name associated with this, right? So at the very least, they know my name, or at least not they, but at least their chief of staff or whoever they have answering their phones, right, knows my name, because I had to call in multiple times in certain cases. So I'm going to go ahead and put all that information. Sorry about the P's. But I'm going to go ahead and put all that information on a set of DVDs and go ahead and mail that out to everybody. Or maybe I'll use I would have to use a different method of electronic delivery since it may be kind of high. But I'm going to send that over to them as well, right? And show them the power of YouTube, right? The YouTube can literally edit your goddamn videos to hide the fact that they were censoring your fucking videos. But just so I can have it documented a second time, I am going to take the time to add this on here. Hold on one second, guys. I am going to take out time to show it because I want to make sure it's shown for at least a second time. Yeah. So I can prove to myself I'm not crazy. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to do that. Window capture. There we go. Opera. OBS software is kind of annoying because sometimes it'll make you put the same shit in here second, third, fourth, fifth time. I think it's because all of my Opera names are the exact same in every single window, and so sometimes it gets confused. But let's go here. and I can show y'all what I'm talking about. So y'all can see for yourself. Let me move this down. There we go. Transition. Beautiful transition. So let's go here. Actually, I should go here. So let's start here. So when I say I've had 2 strikes against me in 24 hours, we're going to show those 2 rando fucking strikes that the pussies, sorry about the P's, the pussies at YouTube decided that they were going to take away after they saw that I was just going to keep on posting the shit and keep on posting the shit and keep on posting the shit. Right? So let's go back to the beginning, which is this stupid warning. Right? So they had a stupid warning on one of my music videos when I was putting up actual musical content on here. That's now on Vimeo, where I proudly pay for that storage. Not on here. But that's how this warning got here. Then, as you can see, they started putting on copyright claims that are bullshit. Then they did a strike. Strike 1 means that you're suspended from posting any sort of lives or doing any uploads or doing anything on YouTube for a week. So they did a little strike last night in order to pull down content, right? So we're going to go there, and I'm going to show you, actually I'm going to show you right now what it should look like if they haven't edited this one as well. Doesn't matter because I already have it on whatchamacallit, so they could do whatever the fuck they want to. Because I already have it on screen recorder. Shout out to Screen-O-Matic. So this is one that just came up. Now you see that they're trying to age restrict it, probably because I said fuck YouTube. Who cares? Age restricted all the fuck you want to. But let's see if this is still here so I can show on here officially, even though I already have the other video composed. Oh, no, there we go. So you notice how this is showing like this? You see that? You see that? So that's what it was showing last night when ISIS was on, and a couple other people as well. And after a while, it would just start back up, right? So here's the video. Here's the video right here that was documenting that sort of thing that you just saw, right? You just saw it with your own eyes that it still shows on the video, right? This video right here was 5601, which is oddly the same exact time as this video right here. But this was 5601. I have the video proving that this was 5601 in the seconds. They added 9 seconds because they actually edited it. So last night, and I already showed that this is the exact same because I changed the title after they did these crazy edits on there and thought it was going to still show. And came on here last night, and as you can see, I posted this last night, right? This is where the same screen that you saw was supposed to show up. You'll notice that it doesn't show up anymore. See? It's gone. It's gone. You may still hear the click. I don't know if the click is still there. At 50:59. They got rid of it. But you can see that they continued this. No. It's still not. It's still there. Hold on. There was a click there earlier, right? But you can see it continues on. It's not showing that anymore. They literally edited this video. I have a screen recorder of this very same video showing that same black strike flag or whatever, the content flag. So this is the type of shit that they could do. They could actually re-edit your video if they wanted to, which is exactly what they did right here. So this is a violation of their Section 230 exemptions. They're not only acting as a publisher, they're acting as an editor of this content entirely, right? Especially when the content is supposed to be providing YouTube protecting what you call proof, and it would show the proof, but for YouTube editing this video to not show that portion. And now you see the timing is now 56:09 as opposed to 56:10, or as opposed to 56:01, which is what it was initially. So this is the type of games that they play. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. So at the end of the day, I take the quality of my content based off of the quality of my haters, and having a multinational company, monopolistic company, having to personally bring their asses down to my level to try to stop a video that was completely protected speech and edit that video entirely, and in blatant violation of their Section 230 exemptions. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Doesn't matter. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and send that proof over to my governor, my state representative, or state representatives, and have them take a look and see the power of YouTube's ability to edit content, edit protected content. And hopefully, you know, if powers change, right, they start looking at Section 230 chopping blocks and put your ass on that chopping block right along with them. So thank you, YouTube employee, you short-sighted, petty piece of shit. You ignorant piece of shit who thought you were doing something really good by getting all these content strikes. But let's go back to those content strikes, because I want to make sure that that's clear as well. So again, when I said that I had content strikes, I feel like this is like Coming to America, where he's like, when I tell you the boy got his own money, he got his own money. Right? I feel like that portion. Where is my what's going on? Your channel. But when I say I have proof that YouTube is violating its Section 230 exemptions and showing itself to be wrong, I mean it. So you see here, this is what a petty little bullshit person at YouTube did, and thought that they were gonna scare me off by doing a strike one again on my channel. This was the second one. You notice that the appeal was granted. I cursed them out in that appeal. I have that on screen recorded too. I basically ended my appeal with saying that this is I started by saying this is an educational work. This is a work of parody because there is some funny elements to it, but it's also transformative. If you know anything about fair use, having one element of fair use is strong. Having multiple elements of fair use makes your case even stronger, that it is protected fair use of copyrighted material, which all of those things completely are there for that Malcolm X video. And I ended by saying, go fuck yourself, YouTube. Stop playing around with my fucking channel. So they promptly granted that appeal with me cursing them to slap the fuck out. But there's the strike one at 12:40 today. Then the other one was here last night. So this was technically strike two, but you see my warning is still here because they did that stupid warning on my music video, on my musical content. And the shouts out and pro tip, when they decide to do these types of stupid shit, so far as like striking your channel, they're not going to allow you to review the content. So when you go to appeal, right? When you go to appeal, they're not going to allow you to review the content. You're going to go up there and try to appeal it for whatever they're saying. You're going to go up there and try to appeal it for whatever they said was wrong with the video. And you're going to try to see the video because it's going to have a little section where you could see the video. And you're not going to be able to play that because they already deleted it. That's the games that they play. The pussies, the little pussies at YouTube. That's the type of games they play. So, and you notice again, Second copyright, I mean, the first copyright strike, there's no appeals granted. They just randomly decided to take that appeal, I mean, take that strike away. And then the second one, I appealed and cursed them out. And then they appeal granted it. Fuck them. Right? And then they trying to do this little stupid shit. Oh, you have 5,000. Who cares? Who gives a flying fuck? Who cares? You're a janky co-publisher. Go fuck yourself. Your only value is the people that you have on your platform, not you as a platform. You're a janky piece of shit platform. That's it. But anyways, yeah, it is what it is, man. Let them do whatever the hell it is they're going to do. Let them try to silence. Let them try to do whatever. Who cares? Who fucking cares? These people are pathetic pieces of shit. Who cares? All right? The major thing is for us to realize that they're trying to do that and then work around it, which is why your program, Miss Isis, was very important tonight, right? So hopefully we start to expand our little group of people, right? Because as you saw with Blue, right? Blue was saying very clearly, like the YouTube algorithm, they keep on saying algorithm as if that algorithm isn't programmed by a coder who could possibly have white supremacist leanings, right? Who couldn't just type Tariq Nasheed's name into that algorithm to force or promote his channel amongst more people, right? Amongst a certain demographic, right? So at the end of the day, like the algorithm is still a work of a human, and it could be white supremacists it could be white supremacists as well. So, but you heard from Blue and her saying that she was only introduced to Tariq. She wasn't necessarily introduced to you or I or anybody else with a counter voice, which I'm wondering again whether or not this is only occurring because Tariq has a direct line of communication with YouTube. Because now I'm thinking about my other videos, like my other 2 parody videos. So let's go there. All right, if we want to talk about views, since we're here in analytics, we might as well show you guys what I see in the background, right? What I see in the background. So let's bring up these videos, right? So you see this parody video was going out, and now the traffic is very low for it. Somewhat understandable, somewhat, right? But let's see. You see the traffic going up on that. All right. Nice little linear line, not really too much being messed with there. Let's look at the other video, this one. Nice little linear line. See these graphs? Pretty standard stuff. Let's go to even another video. Again, this is all done during but you can see that this is trailing off. See these little bumps, right? Unnatural, but whatever. Now let's go to my most recent video. Let's see. Sorry, guys. Remember, it's long form content with me. It's always long form content. It's daily. Let's go to the longest chart we can. Yeah, that's weird. That's not true, but whatever. There's a trailing off of this. Wow. I guess they don't want to allow me to show you the graph on this one, huh? I could definitely see it on my YouTube studio on my what you call it? It's not 600. Oh, maybe that's just the impressions. Weird. Weird. But you would notice that with this video, basically, there's a trail off. It was basically starting high and trailing off very, very majorly. So when Tariq Nasheed was talking about some, we use our hoes over here, all those people making all that negative hater videos and stuff like that, put that shit in perspective, right? Narcissists never lie to you. That's the other thing you need to realize. Narcissists never lie to you. They always tell you the goddamn truth. So when Tariq Nasheed was saying that, what he was really revealing is that he has probably a contact with YouTube that he could say, hey, you know, this video that's demeaning me or saying something about my what you call it? No. Go ahead and promote it. Like this one. Go ahead and promote it because it's good advertisement for me. And then you have these two videos promoted to this level, right? And then after the Hidden History Museum is down, you have other videos really going in and exposing him for who he is. YouTube goes right back to censoring and fucking around with likes and taking likes away, taking a video having 14 likes being taken down to 5. Likes and views being taken away real time on videos, right? They go right back to their same little fucking tricks and games of vertical or horizontal asymptotes of basically making sure a video doesn't have or go past certain thresholds, right? If you put out content, you'll notice that there's horizontal asymptotes at like 50 views, at 200 or either 200 or 250 views, then at 500 views, and then at 1,000 views, right? There are horizontal asymptotes. What you'll start seeing is your video will get up to that point and just won't be able to cross it. Then if it ever does cross it, then it'll get up to that other point and just can't cross it. Then it'll do the same thing. It's almost like these little camelback humps that'll happen, right? You sort of saw that with this video where it had a hump and then jumped up to another one, which is weird that this is still stuck on 666 because it's been like that for like 2 days. But anyways, this is the type of games that YouTube plays, right? YouTube, that's why you need to look at these people when they have blue checks next to their names, right? These blue checks, I don't know what they really mean, man. I really don't know what that means about them being clicked in and verified on Twitter and verified on YouTube, man. That could mean anything from them getting a steady check to them having the ability to call into YouTube directly for whatever promotion or anti-promotion they need, right? Who knows? But at the end of the day, I could see this shit real time, right? And I could still say to anybody who is associated with YouTube, go fuck yourself. I'ma still do the exact same thing. Right? I had to do something on my computer or else I would be transmitting this Malcolm X thing again tonight. It's definitely going to be transmitted again tomorrow because it hits the nail directly on the head so far as Tariq Nasheed is concerned. I can't wait to finish up my Roland Martin video. Might as well, you know what? I'm gonna do something, which is I'm gonna show you guys. Hold on. I'm gonna show you guys that Roland Martin video. Why not? Or at least in its early form, right? So don't judge me. Don't judge me. So hold on 1 second. Window capture. Let's go over here to Lightworks. Because I told you, like, ISIS already saw my skills when it comes down to this shit. I can edit these goddamn videos real time if I need to, right? I can make changes. Like this Malcolm X video started as one thing and ended up over a number of 4 hours. Because that 4-hour video is what they struck the first time, right? That's where it was going in and out and shit like that. And they just stopped the video, right? But I could do all this shit real time if I need to. Hold on. Where is it? Roly poly. This is rough, guys. This is rough. Hold on. Oh, I have to rebuild. Oh, man. I would have to rebuild my content library. Can I do that real quick? No. No, I would have to pull out the video. So hold on 1 second. I'll do that so y'all can see what I'm dealing with. But yeah. these people, and I have to ask myself, like, honestly, like, what is motivating me to do the things that I'm doing, right? Because it's easy to just let this type of shit roll, right? To just let it go, to not deal with it anymore. But I just have a real problem with these people grifting off of other people. I have a real problem with them doing that. I'm no longer okay with that shit anymore on a personal level, right? And we have to talk about people like Deontonator or whatever the hell his name is, right? Because he is somewhat significant in that he is like an unwitting, stupid, you know, tool of Tariq Nasheed to a high degree. Hold on. Is this the video? Yeah, it's the video. So I can show y'all a little bit of this. But he's a problem because he's the person that rolls around and he thinks he's smart by saying the same shit that Tariq Nasheed is saying and repeating it over and over and over again. And he doesn't realize like he's wasting his real intelligence of developing his real intelligence by questioning a person, right? You don't just follow anybody. You always have to question them. You always have to vet them. You always have to double check whether or not they're doing a good thing, right? And if you're not intelligent enough to do that, or if you don't have the courage enough to do that, then you're missing a development cycle, right? Being a grown man or even being an intelligent woman, right, means that you stand up to power. It means that you have the balls to say no, right? And we had a back and forth discussion, you know what I'm saying, during that little thing. And I told him, I was like, hey, man, you know, he's like, well, you're not broke. I was like, yeah, I consider myself broke because at the end of the day, I'm just an exception to the rule. I can easily go broke, you know, tomorrow in a system of white supremacy and institutional racism. He was like, no, that's not true. I was like, dude, have you ever like drained a $40,000 bank account because you decided to tell a job, fuck you, I'm not doing this shit? Or better, you decided to say, listen, I'm not standing up for the bullshit. I'm not just gonna be here and kiss your ass, right? There's a large amount of people that on their jobs, they're like two different types of people. They're the type of people that will, you know, let shit go under the rug and apply for another job or another position within the same company. And then there are people who will say, you know, fuck that, I'm taking this shit to HR. Because at the very least, I'm gonna put you on notice that this is going on for other people who come behind me, right? Fuck that shit. We're going to HR. And if we need to, we'll go to the EEOC or whatever the state state civil rights division is. And if we need to after that, we'll go to fucking arbitration, right? That's the type of motherfucker I am, right? And I put my money where my mouth is, right? Behind that shit multiple times in my career. So I know how that could be like, oh, I'm sitting high on the hog. I got this, that, and the third. I've been there, right? And I've had that shit drain away from me very, very quickly off of the ignorant decisions of racist managers, right? So I don't consider myself wealthy or I got money. Like I don't consider myself like that. I never will. That's just not who I am. I'm not built like that. And I never will. And I think not being built like that is a very good thing. But let's go ahead and go over to Roly Poly Martin and my little parody video. We'll see how quickly this gets struck by YouTube. But anyways, can y'all see that? Hold on, let me see if y'all can see this. Can y'all see that? Or no? No, I don't know if y'all can see that. Hold on. I'll just do it like this. I'll just do it like this because I was gonna try to do it full screen, but I think I'll just do it like this because in this screen it's a little bit larger. So this is rough. Don't be judging me. There's a large amount of incomplete ideas, but anyways, on my grown man shit, here you go. So yeah, there's stuff in the works. There's stuff in the works, but I'm not gonna complete that there because my workflow is better in VSDC, and I can easily get like motion tracking and stuff like that done over there quicker than I can over here. Because over here I got to do it manually, and I can do cropping and stuff like that that I can't do over here. But yeah, I got shit for all these other people too. It's just that YouTube is showing itself to be very much so protecting I mean not Roland Martin, but Tariq Nasheed. So that I'm just targeting their weak side to I'm just targeting their weak side. Yeah, Roland Martin is on the other side of that. So if you saw my other video where I was going in on the Church of Griff, if you notice that I did that little coming to America sexual chocolate clapping scene, and you notice on there, which is, I believe that this is the real reason why I'm being banned. So I might change this to like the thumbnail for all of my videos going forward. But there's a section here because Tariq Nasheed, like, he could be a very good force of good. I know hell is freezing over at the sound of my voice saying that, but he could be, right? But let's see him do something like this, like do a video exposing secret societies and fraternal orders. Like we talk about Boule, but the word Boule, or that phrase, is associated with Sigma Pi Phi fraternity. So if you notice here, this is probably the reason why they're really fucking with me. This section right coming somewhat here. Hold on. Here. Let's back that up. I did that quickly for a purpose, hoping that people will go back and pause it. So you see here, Freemason sign. This is well, I don't think that the Order of the Eastern Stars are taking criminals, but you see the little gavel there for a certain person that won't be named on my platform, her little crazy ass. And then you see here the Grand Boule Sigma Phi Pi, or Sigma Pi Phi fraternity, established in 1904. Right, all these people clapping at us, going back to Africa. Right, this is the type of stuff that's not really discussed. But when we talk about like Roland Martin and his little Alpha, whatever the name of his fucking fraternity is that he keeps on touting out there, as if it's his only black card ever existed, and he's trying to make sure it's shining. Roland Martin is a Boule motherfucker. He is a Boule motherfucker. He is a talented 10th motherfucker. He is a, what's that guy's name? Something Washington, I believe. He is a, black elitist, right? Maybe he's not necessarily a black supremacist, but he's definitely a black elitist. So a black supremacist is a person who looks at white supremacy, as ISIS was saying, and says, I can copy that, right? I think I could copy that. And a black elitist is like the family pet, right? So they're the person who's like, yes, I'm in the house with basically house niggas. I'm in the house with the master, so I'm more elite than you niggas out there in the field. And it's like, nigga, you are just a house pet, right? Like Roland Martin thinks that he's the shit just simply because he sucks the dick of the Democratic Party. But realistically, nobody really fucks with you like that, Roland. They give you money and fuck with you because they know they can easily control your buck dancing ass, but they don't really fuck with you. Nope. Roland Martin is the type of person that, again, nobody fucks with really, unless they're really grimy like that, unless they're on the Charles Wu dinner list, right? But Roland Martin is basically but I'm gonna tell you something else. The other thing the weird thing about Roland Martin is better than Kwame Brown. Roland Martin on the basics of progressivism could actually debate Kwame Brown on do for selferism and probably come out on top. That's how bad Kwame Brown is, and that's how bad the black conservative argument is. But on that level, Roland Martin would actually come out on top of that debate. But Roland Martin is still a piece of shit. He wouldn't come out on top of a debate with me, especially with reparations as the target of the conversation. But he would actually best Kwame Brown in a back and forth, I believe. But yeah, I'm working on him because he basically was in the chat talking about some I ain't shit. Okay, because I basically brought up they were doing some stupid little march where they had armbands on for the people who were getting arrested. What kind of fuck shit is that, right? That's some bullshit. Hold on one second. I have to do it. There's a video of Khalid Muhammad talking about this. I doubt that's the name of the video. That's not the Khalid Muhammad I'm talking about. Hold on. Yeah, this is an interesting one as well. If you haven't seen this video, I would suggest that you do so. I can't find it. That's interesting. Wait, maybe it's this video. No. Oh, but this is a very good way to get banned on YouTube. Hold on. This isn't the one. Again, it's still a very good video for you to watch, but not the video I was thinking of. Maybe it was a much longer video. But basically, it was talking about like, the fake pastors who want to go up there and talk about some, we're going to go get arrested by appointment or something like that. And it was very, very, very funny. But yeah, Roland Martin was was on that little voters' rights march talking about some bullshit about, well, the people with the armbands are scheduled to get arrested here in a second. I was in the chat. I was like, what the hell is this bullshit? And why aren't they marching for reparations? This little bastard Roland Martin on top of some, none of you ain't shit. Bitch, fuck you. I responded as I would and as you would. Your mama ain't shit. So, but that's what sparked me doing that little parody video of him, because, you want to run your mouth. I'll put you on the list, my dude. In my opinion, yes. It's in my opinion, if you're black and you're pledging a fraternal order, that's Greek based, right? You're being very dumb. Greece based a large amount of their society off of Kemet, right? They basically wholesale copied a whole bunch of this shit. Specifically the Kemetic mystery schools. Is a large amount of this quote unquote Greek knowledge of math and theory of governance comes from, and philosophy comes from. They just stole it from Kemet. So it's like, if you're black and you want to be a part of an organization that's stealing from you, that's stealing your culture, that's already stole your culture and is trying to sell it back to you, which is what ISIS was talking about earlier. But then there's something really fucking wrong with you, in my opinion. I think you should, if you've been associated with that, I think you should probably renounce, or at least really think about it. I mean, my own personal opinion is that you lost to a hellifyingly high degree, but example of theft of Kemetic mystery school knowledge, which is Freemasonry, right? You have the Prince Hall Masons, who is basically Prince Hall, and I believe like 14 other people being sworn into Freemasonry by some British Freemasons, and basically having the ability or the permission from the Grand Lodge and in England to be able to set up lodges in the United States. These niggas ain't saying shit about that. Like, one of the things that Kwame Brown was asked about directly was whether or not he had took an oath to Freemasons or not, and he basically was silent as fuck on that. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing about that, right? That's another tie that could possibly bind all these fucking people together. If they're all black Prince Hall Masons and all the women are Eastern Stars, that would be something that cuts through the rhetoric, or the seemingly different rhetoric that they spit on on YouTube. So if Michi X, for instance, is an Eastern Star, and Tariq is a Prince Hall Freemason, there's nothing really between them. So far as there's nothing of importance that's between them ideologically. Everything becomes performative at that point, right? But nobody's talking about that type of shit, right? Nobody's talking about these little fraternities and how they link up to white supremacy, right? Tariq is now trying to exploit children, the depravity of black children in his Buck Broken 2, right? He's gonna exploit the fact that our children are sexually assaulted for views and for entertainment. But I dare him to do a Hidden Colors that dives into secret societies in black communities and how they've been tools of white supremacy. Let's see you do that, Tariq. Since you so pro black, since you so pro empowerment, let's see you dive into and critique the Prince Hall Masons and whether or not they are actually good for black people. Do that. I dare you. You're not going to, because you're too pussy to even breach the topic. You're too pussy to even have the words come out of your mouth. Straight up. Much less in a parody video. Right? You wouldn't even say Sigma Pi Phi. You damn sure ain't gonna talk about no Eastern Stars. You ain't gonna say shit. This is probably the most this topic has been brought up this entire time. But fuck that. It's being brought up. So, but yeah. Anywho. So there's a huge delay here, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and turn in and relax and do my thing. I thank you guys for being a part of what's going on. Jay Black, please, let me check right now, actually. Hold on, let me see something. Let me check right now. See, Jay Black, I wasn't playing, or I wasn't lying. You see this? Like, I don't have any sort of subscription from you. It's not showing. Yeah, another, that was deleted. But I don't have that notification. All right. Don't judge me by my subscriptions. Trust me, you got to follow your enemies and see what they do. It's not support. But I don't see your here. So whenever it does pop up, then I'm gonna go ahead and subscribe. Or you could write a comment in the comment section, and I can get you that way. Like when the video goes up, do a comment on the video, and I could be able to click on you right then and there. Can I click on you now? No, I can't click on you now. Or can I go to profile? No, I cannot. So yeah, just write a comment on the video, and I can sub you that way. And there was another person, Isis, that you were talking about that I need to subscribe to too. If you can give me their, or I guess the next time that you go live, I'll ask them for their stuff. Or if you have it, let me know. If you have a link, or if you could share a link the next time, and put a comment in the a comment section for that guy as well. I'll subscribe to him too. Yeah, it is. It's not surprising because at the end of the day, right? It's a slave tactic. Meritorious manumission is still in play, right? A large amount of these dudes think that they'll get some level of freedom by following a Tariq Nasheed. They're typically like somebody in their 20s, like early 20s, thinking that, oh, I could just work hard and I could work my way out of this. There's a whole bunch of rich black people, and they don't realize that they're going to be in that game until they're 38, 39 years old, and then they're going to look back and say, oh, well, that was the game I was in. Oh, wow. While my white counterparts have been able to build families and build homes and build this and build that, with their hard work, I've worked just as hard, and I don't have. They'll realize that later. But right now, they're trying to skate on that narrative, and they're trying to, will themselves into believing that they can escape white supremacy just through hard work. And they're trying to argue with you because they got little talking points from other people, and they want to make sure that, oh, well, I want to see if this works, right? That's basically what they're doing. So, but anyways, that's what I just want to also encourage everybody. Whatever you do as a hobby. So what I normally did before all of this as a hobby on YouTube is I would make like poetry or video poems, basically. I would do like things that sort of express deeper meaning through video and through audio, through music and stuff like that. But whatever you do, I think you should, so far as a talent is concerned, I think you should take it from a revolutionary's mindset, right? If you learn coding and then you go join YouTube, you're not being a revolutionary. If you learn coding and you decide to create a completely separate platform than YouTube on your own, as a side project while you work another job, if necessary, that's having a revolutionary's mindset, right? So I'm fairly confident that Jason Black and all these little bastards who doxed me didn't realize that, they would be striking a match when they doxed me and put my number out there. But I think I've shown them that, yeah, you probably fucked up by doing that. You unleashed somebody who you probably should never have unleashed. And I think that could be the same for everybody else. Like if you're watching this and you're fed up and you think that you have no voice, bring your ass over to YouTube. Go ahead and start that streaming button. Don't worry about YouTube being a corrupt piece of shit platform. It is. It's up to the people who have already been on this janky platform long enough, who are trying to find other sources to lead you to other sources. But in the meantime, don't feel guilty by joining up on YouTube. You got to get your experience somewhere. So go ahead and start streaming and start putting your information out. Oh, not your information, but go ahead and putting your ideas and your opinions out there in the world. And trust me, you'll be shocked and surprised by how many people actually agree with your opinion. How many people who actually agree with what you're saying, right? So I would suggest that everybody do that. And so far as your personal talents, I would apply them with a revolutionary mindset, right? I would apply them if it came in my head, but it's a weird thing to say. But if Mumia was out of jail and had to be a revolutionary with whatever talent you have, whether it be drawing, singing, whatever it is, right? Whatever your personal talent is, reading, whatever it is. If he could use that for the rest of his life in order to bring consciousness to the plight of black people in America, then how enthusiastic would Mumia, a person who is in jail for the rest of his life, how excited would he be at the ability to use your talent, right? And I would say take that seriously, right? Use your talent in effigy, in remembrance for the people who are locked up, who can't actually use that talent at all. I'm nice with this shit. But if you gave Mumia a laptop in jail, and you gave him a video, if you gave him a video editing tool and access to YouTube to grab all the content he needed in order to remix and he would make up something that you would not believe. If you gave him Fruity Loops and he could make songs, he would probably make something that you could not believe, right? If that was his only creative outlet to be a revolutionary, he would probably be the top person in that area or in that field, just simply because he would be able to channel that revolutionary energy into that area of creativity, right? Even if it wasn't, whether it was his natural ability or not. So I would suggest that you guys do the same thing, right? Remember, there are people who cannot speak, and no matter what you think your voice is, whether you think your voice is a scream or a whisper, I encourage all of you guys to actually speak up, because, you know, at the end of the day, you know, if there are 200 people on YouTube talking and exposing Tariq Nasheed doesn't exist. He may have 700 or 70,000 people watching, but we saw how many of those people, if we want to go off of those numbers, actually gave him money, right? Out of those 70,000 people consistently watching, only 10,000 actually gave him money, right? If we want to go off of those numbers, right? Only 10,000 gave him that money. But if you had 200 people taking out or making consistent content against him, he can't exist. He can't exist. I don't think he can exist with 80 people making consistent content against him, much less 200, right? So regardless of what you think your opinion is, or if you think your opinion isn't that great or isn't that good, I would suggest that you still practice putting it out there through YouTube. It's free of charge. Trust me. The same thing on Vimeo, which I'm still thinking or considering purchasing, is $75 a month. It's $75 a month to do the exact same thing I'm doing right now, right? Exactly. Well, that's good, Leotis. I'm sorry. That's good, Leotis. I'll be checking out your content too, man. But that's what I'm saying. Like, use this. This is free money. Use this. Get practice with OBS software. You know, you could always hit me up. I'm sure you could always hit ISIS up. You know what I'm saying? There's a few nuances you gotta remind yourself of what you're doing a little bit when you're doing this, so that you don't. If you want to maintain your privacy, you can do that, right? You need to do certain things if that's what you want to do. But you know what I'm saying? Y'all have people y'all can reach out to who've already made those mistakes and can sort of sit you down in a nice little tutorial and be like, hey, okay, so if you're going to start live streaming, this is what you're going to do, or this is what you need to do, right? This is some tips and tricks that you could do, and this is what you need to look out for, and blah, 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 right? And get you started, right? But I think everybody needs to be putting out their opinion and calling out fuck shit. A large amount of these cults that Tariq and all these other people have is coming out of the fact that people, you know what I'm saying, are either not saying shit because they don't feel like they can, or they're saying stuff in the chat and they're the ones who are getting blocked by the moderators, right? Or they just are too busy and they don't feel as though their opinion will matter or have that impact against those people. That is a fucking lie. All of those comments are lies. You will have an impact. Put your opinion out there, right? And again, don't worry about YouTube. YouTube is a janky fucking platform. It's up to the more elder people who have been doing this for a while to sort of lead that movement out of YouTube to another application. And that's our responsibility as well. Like, I'm already thinking about a way that you could sort of bypass, you know, be basically video platform agnostic. And I'm trying to do that as quickly as possible, and have an application out that you can just, you know, if you have content, you could just do it there and it'll put it wherever it needs to be, whether it be under an anonymous name or a rando account, and it just naturally notifies everybody of where that video is, or, you know, goes that way, or to where it's not necessarily linked to a profile or linked to an account. Right. But you can still track it through that application if you want to keep track of people. So it's a way of sort of getting rid of censorship that way. All right. So I'm thinking about those areas, but it's those people's responsibilities to sort of come up with those solutions. It's sort of your responsibility to go out there and put your content out there, though. So I encourage everybody to do that. But anyways, guys, it is late for me. I'm old, or I'm getting old. And so I'm gonna go ahead and chill and relax and go ahead and hit the bed. So I'll talk to you guys later. It was cool meeting everybody in ISIS's chat. You know what I'm saying? For those who I met for the first time, and for the loyal supporters, I'll be back giving these people hell tomorrow, as should you. So I'll talk to you guys later. Good night.